So, like I was saying, it doesn't come at necessarily the most convenient time. It doesn't always show up that way. And I feel like it's not really meant to a lot of the time. It's kind of, in a lot of cases, I feel meant to be complicated. Because this kind of connection for me really allows you to take a really hard look at yourself. And it makes you reassess what it is you wanted in the first place. What's real for you? What are your values? What's your morals? What are your boundaries? What's okay with you? What's not okay with you? How do you feel about yourself? And is that what is how you feel about yourself being reflected in this connection? Ultimately, I feel that is really the purpose of connection and on this level. So now when you think back about what kind of relationship you wanted to be in and what kind of love that you wanted to experience, you might have thought like me, where the kind of love I wanted to experience was that we had these deep feelings for each other and we experienced this passion together, and this kind of love would just heal each other and everybody else. Now, granted, ultimately I do feel that's exactly what it does. And I feel like some of these connections can come together and do that purposefully. But in the ways for others that this shows up and heals you and everybody else isn't necessarily the way that you thought it would. Now, these kind of connections really give you an opportunity to take a look at who you are and the way that you're showing up in relationship, the way you're showing up in connection, and what areas that you probably need to work on. Now, a lot of times you might be experiencing this connection where you feel like you're alone in it, where you feel like the other person isn't really even acknowledging you or the connection for that matter. Some of my clients have blocked each other. Some of my clients haven't spoken in years and still feel connected as if it was the first day again. It never left. They've moved on in relationships and still feel it. And then you have some clients who actually are in union with their the person that they're in connection with. So it really just depends on where you're at in the journey and where the other person is, and if those two roads will meet together and you're going to be on the same path and want the same thing at the same time. See, so free will really does play a part, but ultimately to even get to that place, a lot of times you have to take the opportunity. And what is the opportunity? That certainly doesn't feel like an opportunity. Is to start to look at this kind of connection a lot differently than you may have looked at it before. Where you might want to blame this person because they're not showing up the way that they should be showing up. Because, of course, if you have these feelings, then it has to go both ways. And why do I have these feelings? And why are you not showing up? Why are you not being in a relationship with me? I don't understand. Why are you lying to me? Why are you hiding from me? Why do we seem not to get along? Why does it seem like if I say apples, he or she says oranges? What the hell is really going on here? So why the heck do I care about this person when I'm in a relationship? Where did this come from? I was happy, and all of a sudden I meet this person and it's shaking everything up. Or, yeah, well, you get what I mean. So, or why am I in love with somebody that I never thought I'd be in love with? Why am I in love with somebody in another country and it seems like we could never be together? Why am I in love with somebody who doesn't look anything like anything that I would imagine to be with? Or I don't like really skinny people, but this person happens to be really skinny, or happens to be the opposite race of what you actually want. Or it just, this connection can go against everything that you thought to be true. And that's a lot of the reason for it in the first place, is because it's going to challenge what you believe. It's going to challenge what you've been taught. It's going to challenge your limitations. It's going to challenge how you feel about yourself, or what you believed about yourself, and now what what it's teaching you now. Because maybe before you met this person, you would have never put up with this kind of behavior. You don't understand why you feel like you're weak for this person. Why you can't seem to hold your boundaries or hold your ground when this person comes around. Like, what is going on here? Why your family's like, if you don't leave him alone, it's so obvious he doesn't care about you, and you're still hung up on this person that no matter how many times you've prayed about him or her, or how many times you just wish it would go away, it just seems to just keep haunting you. It doesn't seem fair, right? Trust me, I get it. Been there, done that. But the thing is that what you might be, life might be calling you to do is look at things from a different perspective. So instead of seeing this as something that, like a thorn in your ass, maybe you could look at this a little differently. Maybe you could see this as something that came into your life to help you to grow in ways that you didn't even think were possible. Because in this kind of connection, you can experience a lot of pain. And sometimes it's because you can't seem to, or you want the person, but you can't have them. So you're longing and you're yearning for it, and it's all you can think about. Or sometimes you are with them and you can't seem to get along. It's just not ending up the way you thought it was going to, right? Or situations or circumstances where you can't be together. So that could really cause you to, it could cause sadness and frustration and heartbreak on very deep levels. Because remember, this kind of connection is deep. It feels very deep. It feels like it's connected to your soul. So, of course, the heartbreak is going to be pretty strong. Now, some of this heartbreak that you might be experiencing, though, can, or let me just say, really all of it, can be used for an opportunity here to take a look at yourself, to really do some self-reflection, and to see where you're needing to grow. What are your belief systems? What do you believe? Now, If what you want and what you believe are two different things, that's a clue that it's time to stop and take a look at. If you need to if you need to change what you believe, if you need to work on changing your beliefs. Because if you believe something different than what you want, it's going to be pretty hard to attract what you want if you don't even believe you can have it. If deep down, yeah, like your ego might say, I believe I can have it, but in your subconscious, in your heart, in your feelings, you don't really feel you're worth it because maybe your father didn't love you like you believe a dad should, or maybe he was never around in the first place. A lot of these connections are tied back to your childhood. They show up in ways where they might look like there's lack, and you could probably connect that lack back to your parents or whoever was around in your family structure, your mother, your father, your brothers and sisters, grandmother, whoever was around consistently who had an effect on your life. You probably could connect this back as far as behaviors and patterns to that. So it's really a chance to heal and become aware of what's really happening with you, and also to become self-reliant as far as your emotions are concerned. There's just so many things we could talk about when it comes to this, but I'm going to leave you with that for now. And the next time we talk, we'll get into that. So we'll get into some of the family structures and how they connect. So I will see you soon. And again, if this is something that you can resonate with, comment, tell me about your story, and like, subscribe, and share. And I'll talk to you soon.